Today I'm going to be installing and reviewing 3 different types of Molle storage panel solutions for your Jeep from Invictus Off Road. These Molle panels are made right here in the USA, not coming from China. They are top-notch quality. Let's get them installed. So the first piece that we're going to be installing goes on the factory roll bar right here, and it has a little grab handle built into it. And it's pretty simple to install. The only thing you need is the factory Jeep tool to remove the doors and top. And all we have to do is take out these 2 bolts right here. And this is for both the Jeep Gladiator and the Jeep Wrangler. All right, so we're just gonna do one side at a time to not detach this whole panel right here. So I've already taken off this front bolt, and what we're gonna do is slide the panel up like this, and it fits in between here, and try to line up this hole. And all you got to do is pop this panel up enough to get the slot lined up with that bracket. So now we're going to put the bolt back in on this side, and now we're just going to take off the back bolt here, do the same exact thing, and then pop this panel up enough to get the slot lined up like that. Make sure that the panel isn't going to be cinched down on this when you tighten it down. All right, now we're just going to flip this up and around and latch the Velcro in nice and snug, and tighten down the hardware. If you have one of these sunshades, obviously you don't have to pop these ties off, but we're going to reinstall our little bungees real quick. This gives you a lot of versatility with, you still retain a nice grab handle for getting in and out of the vehicle, plus a lot of different mounting options for whatever you need. All right, so up next we have the headrest mount. Now this is going to give us some added storage on top of the headrest, in addition to the panels that are on the backs of the seats. In order to properly install this, you're going to have to remove the headrest and first slide through these holes and slide everything up. All right, so it does take a bit of finessing, as you saw, but now you have a nice solid panel to mount things. So what's nice about the headrest mount is it keeps things up and out of the way, versus if you were to just use the factory panels here, as you can see, stuff might be hitting passengers' knees. So having this up top is really convenient. Before we get too far into this video, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing monthly giveaways, as well as giving you guys a bunch of other great benefits. Now, the way you're gonna have access to that is if you go down to the link below, go to my Patreon account for details. There's a ton of great benefits for you guys, and it also helps you support the channel so I can make more videos and better videos. So the more of you guys that sign up for that giveaway tier, which is tier 3, it's gonna let me do bigger and better giveaways each month that we get more people in there. So if you really like the content that I'm making, I would greatly appreciate if you would just go down there and check it out. And the very last panel that we have is going to go right on the seat behind the driver. Now, to make things easier, you're gonna pop this thing forward and slide it over the headrest like this, and lay down the seat. We lined up the hole with the mechanism that locks in right here. Flip this guy back up. And there are 3 straps on the bottom. And what we're gonna do is just shove these right through to the other side. So we'll slide them from the bottom up. And if you pull hard enough, the little hooks will be popping through. All right, guys, so it's been a couple days since I've actually installed all of the panels inside the Gladiator, and I spent a lot of time researching into how to attach things, what to use, and stuff like that, and there's kind of actually a lot of options. So for somebody who wasn't super familiar with the whole Molle system, I'm gonna show you what I've learned so far. So this covers pretty much some of the cheaper mounting options with the Molle system. Obviously you got just like your standard pouch. This one kind of unfolds down into like a little pouch, which is kind of nice. You got these guys that unclip, and you could like put a strap through there and clamp them down. Or you got these little like carabiner-like ones, or these guys pop in and then you get a little mini bungee on there. Or there's obviously just some little straps, stuff like that. So I'm still figuring all this out. So something that's cool is like, it doesn't have to be limited to just your Jeep. So you can use these on your bags or backpacks that you have. If you never noticed that these slots on here, they all work with the Molle accessory. And this one is by far the easiest. As you can see from the design, it slides in super easy, and you just have to make sure you get these two upper prongs over it. Easiest one to put on. The next easiest one is this guy, and I found on some of the panels that they're really tight. If it's a loose one like this, it's not too bad, but when it's really tight, I would take this part right here, slide that underneath to pry it up, and then slide it in, and you just have to make sure that this piece stays on top. But on the tighter panels, this one's a little bit challenging, and then on the tight ones, this one is the hardest, obviously because of the thickness that has to go behind there. So this one might not be able to work on everyone, but to get this one to work best is you take the push button and you actually hook it underneath, and then you kind of have to turn it to get it to go through. And then once it gets to a certain point, you can twist it back and slide the material right here in between this. All right, so now that I showed you roughly kind of the things I got, I'm gonna show you guys the whole setup inside the truck. All right, so let's show you what I have in the front. So obviously we got the grab handles, and we'll climb up in here. On the passenger side, I got my flashlight mounted up there, and I don't really have too much to go on the passenger side, but I got the clip, the little rubber strap, and another one there. So I have the option threw those in there so I can put whatever I need to up there, but it's nice to have a flashlight easily accessible. And then on the driver's side, I got my pocket knife, same flashlight as the other side, one of the bungee strap, and some extra little guys up there. So if I wanted to hang something up there, I have some more options. Anything that has little pocket clip slides really nicely into these. So things like knives and flashlights, anything that has that, you can just slide it right in. I'm really digging this whole front setup because I already had my grab handle hanging down before, but now I just like the versatility of a flashlight and a knife at easy access. Plus, I'm sure I'm going to discover more down the road of what's going to be convenient to mount up here, but it just gives you more storage in a spot that you just didn't have anything before. All right, let's jump into the back. Now, the back, I don't have too much going on the factory panels here. I'm sort of playing around with some ideas. I got my headlamp mounted here, and I got these bags. These are not Molle bags. I had these before, where you can attach these a number of ways, but I kind of have it set up where I got it tucked into the pocket, but if it flew out, it's not going to go very far. So I kind of like that idea. But right now, I don't want too much down here for the passengers banging their knees against stuff. Obviously, I got my quick release Medkit mounted up on top of the headrest. I like this, like I said, up out of the way of the knees of the passenger. You can just unclip this, rip it off. I got a couple little extra guys on here in case I want to add more to this later, which just the versatility of everything is great. The way this kit mounted, it left sort of a little extra slot. So I just put one of these little guys right here, these little carabiner style, so I could hang something there later if I wanted to. And then on the passenger side, I don't think I'm gonna keep this here, but this is just kind of showing another more burly clip idea. So you can hang something heavier, like a water bottle, especially from these panels. It's really nice. And then check out this little guy. So this pouch doesn't take up much space like this, but if you were to undo it, you got a whole pouch right here that you could store a lot of stuff in. But if you wanted to keep it here, but not bother your passengers too much, it can be folded up nicely to not take up any leg room. So then I've had this backpack for a couple years. I've never attached things to it. So it's nice to be able to like throw a pouch on here or have other means to be able to attach stuff to it. So it just gives me a level of versatility to just do whatever I want, which is great. So I got my backpack with an extra pouch. And then let's pull back the back seat here. All right, so now this might be my favorite part. So what we got is I got my off-road shovel that folds up right here. I got my hatchet. I got another pouch here. I don't have anything in this yet. Haven't figured out what I want to put back here, but this stuff isn't stuff you need too terribly often. Obviously I threw a couple of these guys in case I want to mount something else up here, but the Jeep toolkit for the top and doors doesn't need to be taking up space in the glove box. It actually has this stuff built into it. You know, stuff behind the seat that doesn't need to get access to often. That's what this panel is perfect for. I got my toe strap actually and a couple ratchet straps down there. They just sit down below, and you do have to keep in mind that the stuff on the upper level, you got to watch out for the child tether, and up here it gets kind of tight. So something that you could roll up tight or really thin along this top layer, like probably no thicker really than the Jeep toolkit, will work great for that. But the seat just snaps right back into place. Also, I wanted to say a huge thank you to Dave from Invictus for sending me out these panels for me to review them. They're not paying me to say any of this. This is just how I feel about the panels. They're a great product. Like I said before, made in the USA. The material quality is superb. It's a great product. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, if you're interested in picking up a set of those Molle panels, whether it be the grab handles, the headrest, or the back seat mounts, I'll have the link to Invictus Off Road down below where you can check them out. They are made in America and top-notch quality. So my overall impressions of the Invictus Off Road Molle setups, I really like them. I really like them a lot. Being made in the USA is a huge plus for me. They're not too expensive. They're pretty affordable too. And I just love the versatility of that space up, you know, when you're driving or a passenger on the side was just nothing. So having the option to be able to even throw stuff up there, and then the headrest. I really like the headrest one because I got my Medkit that stuck out. You know, it was a thick bag, and people hit their knees on it. So now it's up on the headrest out of the way. Also, if you were in an emergency situation where you needed that, it's highly visible right up there at the top, so it's easy to grab and rip that thing off and take it. Hopefully, you know, you never run into that situation. And then the back fold down panel, I really like that as well. There's not too much space behind the rear seat of the Gladiator, so anything you do, kind of like if you were to stack some stuff, it just doesn't work. But with that panel back there, you can really stack a couple things down below, like I had my straps down there, and then strap everything to the back of the panel, stuff that you don't need too often. And I think it's just a great solution for keeping everything really organized. So if you're a little OCD, then these Molle panels are the way to go, because you can set it up however you like. And I've just scratched the surface. Like, I'm new to the whole Molle setup and all the attachments, so I'm gonna be looking into it further, getting more pouches, more attachments, and all that stuff. So I'll keep you guys updated on how my setup sort of evolves over time. But for now, it's pretty basic and versatile. So when I go on a trip, I'm gonna change up everything that I have going on, and then when I'm home for a couple weeks, you know, just doing street driving, I'll run a different setup. So it's just nice to put whatever, pretty much wherever you want, with the variety of attachments that I've seen online. It's just a great system. And if you enjoyed this video and you're still not subscribed, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, maybe share the video with some friends. And as always, see you guys in the next one.